that so much of what we do now in our communication and in our project and program environments are done electronically. We now have at our disposal the ability to analyze and design our communication objects and our communication environment with these factors in mind. What's more is we can actually take new analytic tools, put them on these objects, and come up with a whole other range of different variables that will impact the effectiveness of communication. And again, that means that we have a whole new set of tools that will impact our ability to deliver successful, innovative, creative projects. So, what I did was I started to make lists of them. This is just a preliminary list listed in my book that started to come to mind based on the research that I had available. So you start looking at the communication objects that you design as managers, as leaders, and these are some of the elements that you need that are worthwhile to think about. Now, some of the ones that I'm going to highlight are going to be, we talked about time of day, day of the week, how much you broadcast to an audience, things of that sort. But I'm going to focus here on the last two. And these are boundaries between groups and is it a boundary object? If there's another great concept that I'd like to convey to you, it's the concept of a boundary object. It comes from the late 80s, from the world of anthropology and sociology. And what a boundary object is it's an object whose meaning has sufficient commonality between different groups that everyone knows what they're talking about, but still maintains its individual identity. Great example is my dog. He's wonderful. He's a great guy. To my daughter, he's her best friend. To me, he's a pet that I take care of, also a companion, but certainly not to the extent of it is to my daughter. And to the vet, it's a patient. The dog has different meanings for all of us, but we understand very well what we talk about when we're talking about a dog. The same thing is true of a boundary object, and that's the dog as a boundary object. When you look at the reports that you're generating, when you look at the information that you're conveying, it's worthwhile to think, is it a boundary object? Is it helping build bridges? And those bridges can be professional bridges between an art department, a design department, engineering department, procurement department. Is it building it between organizations when you're working on teams? Or even between individuals from different cultures? Is it a boundary object? And what's wonderful is now we can actually start to study and say and design our objects to be boundary objects. Is it working or not as a boundary object?